Hello, everyone. On behalf of Orientation and Transition Programs, I would like to welcome you to our Transfer Wednesday webinar. These webinars are designed to help prepare you for your arrival to UVA, so be sure to tune in throughout the summer to learn more about all the resources available to you before you get on ground. A couple of quick reminders before we get started. Lots of deadlines are coming up, so be sure to be checking your new student portal. Make sure to stay on of your tasks so that you're ready for the fall, and you can access the new student portal from our website, which is orientation.virginia.edu. As always, make sure that you're checking your UVA email regularly. We're communicating directly with our students, so it's very important that students are keeping an eye on that inbox for any important messaging. And it is essential that you really take ownership of your college experience during this time, even though it's during the summer. Always feel free to come and chat with your TTCs during their drop-in hours. Grace is available to you from 1 to 2 p.m. every Monday, and you can chat with me, Ava May, from 10 to 11 a.m. on Wednesdays. And the links for those Zooms are posted on the Instagram, which is at UVA Transfers, as well as attached in the biweekly transfer newsletters. That being said, our office is happy to hear from students. If you have any specific questions, feel free to email us at orientation@virginia.edu, and we will help guide you to the answer that you're looking for. Okay, two last quick things before we get started. These webinars are recorded and will be posted on our website, which again is orientation.virginia.edu in the next week, and they'll stay there for the rest of the summer, along with any of our past webinars that you may have missed. If you have any questions during the webinar that isn't answered, feel free to reach out to our presenter's office directly or email us at orientation.virginia.edu. So without further ado, I'm happy to introduce this evening's presentation from Student Health and Wellness. Student Health and Wellness are here today with us to talk about everything that they provide for students during the school year. So if you have any questions for their team, please utilize the Q&A function or the chat function. And we are excited to have you here with us tonight. So please enjoy, and Student Health and Wellness, take it away.
Great. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I will go ahead and share my screen. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening, and welcome to UVA. We are so excited to introduce you to our beautiful building and share with you more information about all the services and resources that we have available at Student Health and Wellness to support you during your time on grounds. And you will also hear our building referred to as SHW. My name is Sharon Mendieta Ramirez, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Program and Events Coordinator for the Marketing and Communications team over at Student Health and Wellness. In my role, I work collaboratively with all SHW units to support student-centered programming and initiatives aimed at increasing awareness of SHW services and resources. And I'll turn it over to my colleague, Kelly, so she can introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Gildersleeve. I've actually been at Student Health and Wellness now for 7 years today. So I am happy to be here with you and talk to you about insurance and billing and medical services when we get to that portion of our presentation. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Kelly. And if you have any questions throughout the presentation, we encourage you to include them in the chat, and we'll have time at the end of the presentation for a Q&A session. Great. We'll go ahead and get started. Okay. So where are we located? Student Health and Wellness is located on 550 Brandon Avenue, and our building is very close in proximity to UVA Health. And this map shows where our building is located in relation to a more centralized location on grounds in Newcomb Hall. And this is also where the summer orientation resource fairs are taking place. And it's about a 10-minute walk from Newcomb to Student Health and Wellness. So for 3 consecutive years, the Princeton Review has named the University of Virginia's Student Health Services #1 in the nation. And this remarkable achievement is especially meaningful to us because this vote comes directly from students. And pictured on this slide is our building, filled with lots of natural light and beautiful mountain views. And during the academic year, the building and our services are open for standard business hours from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And students can access the building outside of business hours, Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. Until 2 a.m. and on weekends from 7:45 a.m. until 2 a.m. by swiping their physical or mobile UVA ID. And parking is available below the building in the P1 garage for students with appointments only during business hours and all guests outside of business hours. Parking in the P1 garage requires registration, and you will find the QR code for parking registration when you arrive in the building at your appointment location. Okay. Student Health and Wellness is dedicated to promoting the health and well-being of all students, supporting their academic and personal success. And here listed on the slide are our 5 core services, which I will discuss in more detail throughout the rest of the presentation. And they're all under one roof, and our service care providers work together to provide holistic care to students. All right. So now I will be providing a floor-by-floor overview of our building and starting with the first floor. So first up, we have the Student Disability Access Center, also known as SDAC. And they provide disability-related accommodations and consultations to support students. And the slide here lists some common accommodation types, and the goal is for all students to have equal access to university programs and services. And listed on here as well is well-being services, and they provide one-on-one well-being coaching to help with areas like sleep and stress management. Violence prevention and advocacy services are also included in well-being services, in addition to substance use and recovery support services, hazing prevention services, and peer health education. So our peer health educators, also known as PHEs, UVA loves their acronyms. They're UVA students selected and trained to provide education to their peers on topics related to health and well-being. And then we also have the Collegiate Recovery Program, which provides a welcoming and supportive community for students exploring or committed to recovery from substance use. And some spaces that are not pictured on the slide include our wellness suite and our 2 individual reflection rooms, also located on the first floor. And these are spaces where you can come in and practice yoga, relax, meditate, and pray. All right, so now moving on to the rest of the first floor. First up, we have the information desk pictured on the top left, which is staffed by our event assistants and event leads every day from 7:30 a.m. until midnight. So if you have any questions about student health and wellness, or if you're coming into the building for an appointment and you aren't sure where to go, our front desk team is ready to assist you. And then pictured on the top right, we have the multipurpose room, which is a space reservable by student groups outside of business hours and is designed to host a range of events ranging from large meetings to dances. And then picture on the bottom right, we have the teaching kitchen, which offers cooking education and culinary classes that students can sign up for to have fun and build skills in food preparation, budgeting, and nutrition. And then we have pictured on the bottom left is the living room located near the teaching kitchen. And that's a common gathering space for students fitted with a fireplace. And another space that's worth mentioning, but is not pictured on the slide, is our pharmacy, which is located also on the first floor, directly to the left upon entering the building on Brandon Avenue, where students can fill prescriptions and purchase essential items. Alrighty, so now we'll move on to the second floor, and I'll turn it over to Kelly.
All right, thanks, Sharon. So the second floor has an array of medical services. We treat acute and chronic medical illnesses, preventative care, nutrition services. We do offer telemedicine visits too, if you're too sick to come into the building or that kind of thing, or you just prefer that. We also have X-ray that is on the second floor. It's not on the second floor, it's on the third floor, but we offer that service to you within the medical services area. And there's also a lab that is owned by UVA Health. It's a satellite lab that is part of the wing for medical services and joined to the lobby there. So you are able to be seen because Tuition and fees cover the cost of the visit for student health and wellness and medical services. So you can go and make an appointment in Healthy Who's and set up a time that works for your schedule and see a nurse practitioner or a doctor or, just any other provider that you would like to see, as well as gynecology is also provided within the medical services area too. So we have that available to you. Again, there's no charge to be seen for students that have full-time tuition that has the student health portion included with the fees associated with tuition. So you don't have to pay anything when you come to for the visit. There could be some charges associated with the visit, but that should be explained to you by the provider. At least there definitely is a QR code in the room that you're seeing, and that goes directly to the price list for anything additional beyond that visit. An example would be, say you came in and you were ill, and you had to have a flu test done. There would be a cost for that flu test. And if you're on the student health plan, then those charges are sent directly to the insurance carrier. However, if you have your own insurance, and I'm going to talk about that in more detail in just a minute, but if you have your own insurance, then those charges are sent over to your student account. And then you can turn around and submit that charge or that walkout statement that's also found in Healthy Who's to be reimbursed for that amount of the charge. So I am going to share my screen and talk more about the insurance verification process, because I bet you've heard about it. If you haven't, then you're going to learn more today. But here is our website. This is a Student Health and Wellness website, and this has an array of information. Anything you're looking for, please, you can find it here, and it's up to date with the most current information. Under About and then Insurance, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the insurance, what we call insurance verification, what some other colleges and universities call hard waiver. But basically, we're asking for your health insurance. We want to make sure that you have health insurance as a student here at UVA, because it's really important to have that in place. And so you're welcome to submit your insurance during this time frame. But if you don't have insurance, or you have a plan that doesn't work in Virginia, say you're coming from out of state, maybe California, New England area, something like that, and your health plan doesn't work out of that area, then you might want to enroll in the student health plan. Right here are the key insurance deadlines, and this is basically the time frame that tells you everything that you need to know. But starting next week, a week from today, actually at 9 a.m., we're going to open the portal where you can provide your insurance information or you can enroll in the student health plan. This is really important to make sure that you pay attention to your emails. We're using your UVA email address, and you probably know that by now, but you will become very familiar with it. But please, there are a lot of emails that are sent to that, and one of those is going to be about this insurance verification piece. And there is a deadline that you want to make sure you adhere to. So the portal is where you would go to actually take action. This is with our insurance broker. It's Haler, Fryer & Kuhn that we work with. And they have this portal available. Again, it won't open until July 15th at 9 a.m. But when it does open, you'll be able to go into this area, Fall Student Waive and Enroll, to take action to either submit insurance or enroll in the health plan. We also have the optional dental coverage. We're not requiring you to have dental coverage, but we are requiring you to have medical coverage. So you can do both of those if you like, but you definitely have to do the first. You'll know that you're required to do this by the sheer fact that you'll have a to-do in SIS, and that is going to give you some details as well as where to go to submit your information. The health plan, if you were to enroll in the student health plan that we have, and the carrier is United Health, that plan starts August 1st. And that coverage will begin. It's a year-long plan. We don't have the premium approved yet by the state, by Virginia Bureau of Insurance. We hope to get that very shortly, but we don't have it in place yet. So I can't tell you what the premium is, but I can tell you that the premium for the year for 25-26 was $3,989, and we do anticipate around a 6% increase with that. The deadline to submit your insurance information or enroll in the health plan is August 31st. You definitely want to pay attention to that deadline. If you don't do anything, you will be default enrolled into the health plan and you will be charged the premium for the health plan. And we don't want to do that if you already have insurance, but we won't know if you already have insurance. It's not an automatic thing that we get that information. We need that from you. So if you did submit your insurance and it was not approved for various reasons, if it's out of state Medicaid, it won't be approved because that won't work here except for emergency care. So we need to be sure it's Virginia Medicaid or a health plan that will work. Then there is an appeal time frame a week later than that due date of August 31st that you can submit an appeal. If you have an HMO, for example, that is out of state, some HMOs allow you to access a rider plan that allows you to go beyond your normal network, and that could be approved. So we will allow you a week to, write to us and say, I have more information on my health plan. I think this should be reviewed again. If you don't take action, or if you do enroll in the health plan, or if you've submitted insurance that is denied, all of those scenarios, you will have a charge placed on your account, your student account, on September 30th of this year. So just we'll look out for that. And Student Financial Services will follow up with another email saying, giving information rather about a payment plan option or a loan option that is available to you if the premium is something that's hard to cover. The due date for that charge, unless you select the payment plan, is October 31st. And the date that the health plan coverage ends is not until July 31st of 2027. If you were to graduate, I don't know if anybody will be in this situation, but if you were to graduate in December of this year, then you can also write to us within 30 days and we can credit you for the spring premium. But I anticipate that many of you will be here for another year at least. So, but if that's the case, then you can also write to us if you graduate. This is the criteria that we require the insurance plan to have. So this is important to look at. This is basically saying that your plan is active, that you have a network of providers in the Charlottesville zip code area that you can access, that you have behavioral health care with your plan, and that means you can access therapy if you need to, and that the plan is licensed to do business in the US. So there's a claims office in the US with a US address as well as a phone number. So I mentioned the idea of additional charges. I will just talk about this very briefly, but here is a price list where you can go and find out what additional charges there are out there. that you could possibly have on either your student account. Now, if you enroll in the health plan, as I mentioned before, the UVA student health plan, all of those charges will be sent directly to that health plan. So you won't need to worry about any of these things. But if you have your own insurance, and about 75% of our students that are here at UVA have their own insurance, then these charges will go over to your student account. So examples of these are a flu shot, or a polio vaccine, or some of these labs that are done. So a urine chemistry lab, $10 will go over to your student account, and you will need to submit that charge to be reimbursed by your insurance carrier. All right. So I just wanted to point that out. Again, everything is on our website. It's a lot of information is out there. Our information, our contact information is on the insurance site, and I will put that in the chat as well, so that you have that, but you will be able to see. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. It's right here. This is the student health plan, has all our contact information here. So you're welcome to reach out to us, call us, or email. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kelly, for providing all of that wonderful information. Alrighty, we'll continue with the rest of the presentation. Okay. So while we have services that are here to support you if you are ever feeling unwell or need help, we also have services and spaces at Student Health and Wellness to support you in other aspects, such as well-being and self-care. So to tell you a little bit about what we have to offer on the third floor, first we have the student lounge, which is pictured on the left side. So this is another great space, similar to the living room, where students can come and study and hang out. And right next to the student lounge is the art room, which is pictured on the top right. And this is a dedicated space for art as a tool for wellness. And all of the resources are free. And our CAPS psychotherapist with an art focus offers art workshops and regular programming throughout the academic year. And then pictured on the bottom right is the Fried Center for the Advancement of Potential, also known as FCAP. So they are under the Wellbeing Services umbrella, and they provide personalized exercise programs designed for your specific health goals. So whether you're recovering from an injury or looking for support with just more general fitness and mental well-being support, they're here to support you. And they focus on long-term health improvements, making effective exercise available to everyone at UVA. Now, it is worth mentioning that FCAP is by appointment, and there is a cost of $40 for a 1-hour long session. However, if cost is prohibitive, students can access resources via the Cavalier Fund and also via the Accommodations Access Fund. All right. And now moving on to the fourth floor. So on the fourth floor, we have counseling and psychological services, also known as CAPS, where students can access confidential and free mental health services like individual counseling, group counseling, and psychiatric services. And in addition to our in-person and telehealth appointments in CAPS, students can access virtual therapy through a free 24/7 service called Timely Care, and you can download the app on your mobile device. CAPS also has embedded school-specific counselors who provide tailored guidance and resources to support you. And then for urgent mental health concerns, CAPS can also be reached via phone 24/7, and we'll share those phone numbers towards the end of the presentation. And then we also have Care and Support Services, also known as CAS, and they provide non-clinical case management support. So when I think of the CAS team, I like to think of them as the connectors. They are a great place to start if you are looking for additional support, but aren't sure where to go or who to turn to. So like I mentioned, they are a non-clinical resource that are available to help students build their support networks to effectively navigate a range of experiences and challenges. And then they also provide basic needs resources, including the Cavalier Food Pantry pictured on the bottom right, also located on the fourth floor. And then lastly, we have the reading room pictured on the bottom left. And similar to the living room and student lounge, the reading room offers space for students to come gather and study. And all of the common spaces in this building are available for students to use at any time without a reservation. We do have more private spaces like conference rooms, but those are available by reservation, and you can reserve those after business hours through our platform called 25 Live. Okay, so as a friendly reminder, you can use Healthy Who's, our secure online patient portal, to schedule appointments with medical services, nutrition services, well-being coaching, functional exercise, or FCAP, and the pharmacy. And the Healthy Who's online patient portal also allows UVA students to have convenient 24-hour access to personal health information, and providers can securely communicate with students, for instance, share lab results via the portal as well. And then we also have listed on this slide some after hours phone numbers that you can call if you have urgent concerns that come up outside of business hours. And so here we have listed medical, mental health, and Talk Now, which is an on-demand feature that is offered through Timely Care, and where you can connect with a provider within just a couple of minutes. And then we also have the CAS after hours phone number. But of course, in the event of an emergency or a life-threatening situation, we would advise you to call 911. And then we also have a contact section at the top right of our website, which includes the full list of SHW phone numbers. Okay, so then now some things for you to do as you prepare to come to grounds in the fall. So starting with requirements, just making sure you submit your pre-entrance health form that's due on August 1st. And the health insurance verification period takes place from July 15 to August 31st. So making sure to either submit proof of current insurance or enroll in the UVA sponsored student health plan. And then we also encourage you to visit our orientation website, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the slide. And we also want to encourage you to complete our new student checklist, which can also be found on our website. All right, so that is the end of our presentation, and we will now pause and answer any questions you may have.
So we've got a question about where we can upload insurance information.
Yes. All right. So let me, I was going to share, I'll share the website again where we have that. Okay, so you're going to be assigned a to-do in SIS, but it won't be until July 15th, which is next Wednesday. When you get that to do, you will be directed to this portal. It's also available on this page here on our key insurance deadline page. But you click on the portal, and that directs you to this site, which is Haler, Fryer, and Kuhn. And you would go to Fall, Student, Waive, or Enroll. This isn't going to be open yet, but you will need your last name and your student ID number, which is found on the back of your ID badge. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but that's where I usually tell students to look, is the back of the ID badge. So once you enter both that information, you'll be able to log in into the portal, and you can submit your insurance information, and you'll be asked to submit the images of your card as well. So you'll need that insurance card with you.
Yes, thank you, Grace. If you have a digital ID, which all new students have a mobile ID now, your ID number is the same as the number found in SIS. It is not your computing ID or your computing number, which is the first part of your UVA email. So keep in mind, it's two different things.
And it's also not your SIS ID, which is 7 digits. It is 9 digits. So
But
keep
it
that in
can be
mind.
filed in SIS. Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully I answered that.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Mm.
Questions on services available to you, requesting accommodations, insurance pieces, deadlines. Yes.
Betty, while we wait for some questions to come in, I can speak a little bit more to like the programming and events that we do at Student Health and
Please,
Wellness.
yep.
Awesome. I'm just gonna share my screen again because I wanted to show that picture that was in the question slide. Okay. So pictured on this slide, we have April Sweetie, which is one of our therapy dogs who regularly visits Student Health and Wellness. And so we have weekly therapy dog visits in the building. And we haven't yet finalized the information on the dates and times that we will be hosting those weekly therapy dog visits. In the past, we have done them on Wednesdays from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. So once we have all of that information finalized, we will go ahead and post it on the events page on our website. So I'd encourage you to come back and check our website closer to the fall of the start semester for more information on that. And then also towards the start of the fall semester, we'll also have our signature event, Wahoo Wellness Fest, which is filled with lots of fun activities, a chance for you to connect with our service representatives. And we'll also have food catered and long games. So it'll just be another great way to connect with our wonderful staff and also get to meet other students around grounds.
Sharon, can you share a little bit more about our PHEs, the peer health educators, and some of the programming that students might see from them throughout the year?
Yes, absolutely. So our peer health educators provide a wide range of programming. So let me see if I can find it on our website. Yeah, so they provide things ranging from like presentations, and then they also do like a marathon event. They also participate in some other programming, such as like you can have tea with a PHE, and they also do the stall seat journals, which you'll see posted around our on-grounds housing. But yeah, so they provide a wide range of programming, and I would encourage you to reach out to our team, or you can also fill out our events and partnerships request form listed on here if you are looking to like have them come to an event. So that's another way that you can engage with them. And then there will also be some recruitment like sessions, information sessions that will be hosted as well if in case anybody is interested in becoming a PhD. So look out for those opportunities as well. And all of the information will be posted on our website.
Thank you.
And the stall seat journal is also in the bathrooms, right?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of helpful information on those.
Captive audience.
Can you share information on medications and how students might go about filling prescriptions at UVA?
Sure. So if you can get a prescription if you have a visit with one of our medical providers in medical services, or in CAPS. It depends on, the type of prescription, but you can certainly do that and they will write a prescription for you. And you could go to the pharmacy that's located on the first floor. and that is owned by UVA Health. They will submit directly to insurance carriers, regardless of what you have. So you can go to that location, and it's a huge pharmacy. There's also a lot of over-the-counter medications that are available to you at a lower cost because of the costs that are kind of passed on to us through UVA Health, and they, have some really great contracts for that medication. There's also supplies like first aid supplies, feminine supplies, sunscreen, I mean, vitamins, you name it, you can get it all there. But anyway, they have a great expansive pharmacy. You can send it directly to the pharmacy, your prescription, or have, your at-home doctor call it in there, and that way you can conveniently pick it up. There's also another pharmacy located in the bookstore that is also owned by UVA Health. So same routine, just different location. Depends on, what's more convenient to you, Newcomb Hall, or is it Student Health and Wellness on Brandon Avenue?
Mhm. Sharon, can you remind us what floor the food pantry is on?
So the food pantry is located on the 4th floor, and then there's also a satellite location in Newcomb Hall.
We are doing a food pantry drive at orientation as well. So if there's anything you would like to donate to the food pantry, please feel free to bring them to your orientation session. There'll be drop-off bins at the check-in area and the arena, JPJ arena. So please bring any products that you feel might be helpful, whether food or feminine hygiene products. Anything like that is helpful. You can check our Instagram post for the more details there. But also, if you as a student need access throughout to any of that, the food pantry is a great resource for lots of our students who do use it frequently. We also have events in our teaching kitchen. So I'll say from our transfer student community perspective, we have done a couple teaching kitchen sessions there with our VP of Student Affairs, our Dean of Students. It's a good time for new students to learn some cooking skills, how to cook a new meal, knife skills, all of it. It's led by peers and to also connect with some of our student leaders and enjoy a meal together. So teaching kitchen's great. They also do some teaching kitchen, I forgot what they call them, pantry cleanouts or something like that, where they use a lot of the ingredients from the pantry. Keep an eye out for information about joining those. They'll be held throughout the year for students in the teaching kitchen. And I'll just say, depending on your orientation session, you may not have all the time to explore the building. So I encourage you early fall semester to do that. Because it is an incredibly large building and a beautiful building, with lots of fun study spaces, things like this, the teaching kitchen and the pantry, just like lounge areas for students to study. It's a very nice area of grounds. So once students go there, that tends to be kind of their spot. They do enjoy it. Any other questions? Okay, well, in the chat, we've shared contact information for student health and wellness. We won't make everyone hang out if there's no questions here. But as a reminder, our recording can be found on the website. And again, Student Health and Wellness's website is also incredibly thorough. So if you're ever looking to explore resources or have questions on anything, that is where you find information. And there are a couple tasks related to student health and wellness, again, in your new student portal, whether it's regarding accommodations or the insurance pieces here for verification that'll start next week. There's Timely Care, which is an app that we recommend students download as well. So there's many services available under the huge umbrella of student health and wellness. As new students, please make sure you're staying on top of those tasks so that you can really make sure you're well oriented to grounds once you start here. Student Health and Wellness will also be at our orientation sessions at our resource fair. So if you need to chat with them more or just need a refresher, they'll be available there. And they'll probably have some cool giveaways. So that's always a plus. Okay. Well, thank you all, Sharon and Kelly, again for your time, and everyone else on the call. If you have any questions or on anything, just email the orientation office at orientation@virginia.edu. Thanks all.